Sleep comes to me in the wee hours of the night. The blessed, sweet darkness all-consuming, right up until the moment my cell phone buzzes on my nightstand. I jolt to a sitting position. Fear that I've overslept on one of the most important days of my life sends my gaze jerking to the clock. The 6 a.m. hour confirms that no, I did not oversleep. But that doesn't mean that something hasn't gone awry with the biggest trial of my legal career. The buzzing halts abruptly, and my heart lurches as I grab my phone. But it's not the courthouse. It's Oliver, my former best friend, considering he's woken me up an hour before my alarm is set to go off. After worry for today's verdict had resulted in a fitful night of tossing and turning. Intentionally, too, apparently, considering a text flashes on my phone that reads,
"Wake up, Ember Thorne. It's officially December 21st and your 27th birthday, and the day you become the Grim Reaper."
Oh, I fall back on my pillows, my phone settling on my chest. His Grim Reaper joke is not funny, even if it has nothing to do with the gruesome murder trial I'm currently navigating as defense counsel, though the press has called me worse. My many nicknames include Monster, Ice Queen, and my all-time most hated, Money Grubber. According to the press, I'm just looking to elevate my future paydays with this win, at the expense of the victims of a killer and their families. They always forget the part where the defendant is innocent until proven guilty, and my client happens to be innocent. I shake off the attacks once again and refocus on Oliver and his Grim Reaper joke, which references a disturbing incident a few months ago that has never quite let go of me, though I've never admitted that to Oliver. My mind travels back to the day. Oliver and I had just exited the courthouse in downtown Austin, the summer heat burning down my spine, when an elderly hunchbacked woman had stepped in front of me. I'd halted to avoid running into her, and she'd snatched my hand, squeezing with all her might, it had seemed, and started spouting off about me being the end of the world, a flesh and blood Grim Reaper. She'd then looked at Oliver and said eerily, "December 21st. That's the day." And then, in true horror flick style, she'd proceeded to convulse. It just so happens that December 21st is my birthday, which, despite the silliness of it all, made the whole thing a tad bit creepy. From Oliver's amused point of view, she's either crazy or I'm the Grim Reaper, and the only way to know is to wait until December 21st. And now, it's December 21st. In other words, he's extra amused and riding this joke all the way until midnight. My phone rings, and I don't even look at the caller ID before I answer. It's Oliver. Of course it's Oliver. "Why are you calling me this early?"
"I thought you'd want to get a jump on the whole reaping gig."
That's a bad joke on the day I'm waiting for a verdict on a murder trial. You do remember that I'm defending a man accused of killing 6 women, right?
Considering my office is prosecuting against you, yes, I remember quite well.
Because all that matters to the district attorney, otherwise known as your boss, is looking good in an election year. An innocent man's life, obviously, and most certainly does not. The evidence is circumstantial. This is all about the election. You needed a fall guy.
Not me. It was never me.
And even if I get my innocent client off, he'll be stigmatized for the rest of his life. I've seen the supposed evidence, and it's a bunch of crap. They got him on a hair in the car of a victim after she met him at a coffee shop for a tutoring session.
He had a connection to all of the victims.
So did 4 other professors. Any of them could have been unlucky enough to get framed. You know he was framed, Oliver. He mumbles something under his breath and then replies,
"As an assistant district attorney, you know I have no comment."
"You could have spoken up."
"Why are we having this conversation again?" "I did, and it was sent back to my corner. There was a lot of pressure from the public for resolution, and when that happens, in my experience, the legal system latches on to the easiest target. And I will deny saying that if ever asked."
"There's a killer out there who will kill again."
"And once your client is out of the picture, the heat to find the real killer will be in play. Now please change the subject. Conflict of interest and all that stuff. Returning to what's important. Birthday dinner?"
I grit my teeth and force a lighter tone. Will my food have eyes that watch me while I eat? I ask, reminding him of the one date we'd gone on years before. He'd taken me to eat fish, served with the head and eyes intact. I hate fish, and I really, really hate fish eyes. But it's a funny memory that eases the knots in my belly. It roots me in life, not death, and there's too much death to be dealt with this day.
I will never live down our one bad date, will I?
He says with a laugh, and his laugh is one of the things that draws me to him. He feels it deep in his soul, in a way I've never felt anything, and secretly wished I felt everything. It was our only date for a reason. I shoot back, but the truth is, it wasn't the fish that made our date night the start of a friendship. For reasons I can't explain, and despite his good looks and success, he feels like the brother I'd always wished for and finally have in him.
I didn't know the restaurant served fish with the heads intact.
He reminds me for the millionth time.
Or that you didn't like fish or big egos. But I've improved on all fronts, don't you think?
Improved on all fronts? I ask, incredulously. Your ego is bigger now than it was 3 years ago. Lord help us all after that magazine prints the write-up they plan about you. Hottest ADA in the country. Please, give me a break.
I am pretty hot.
Oh, geez, are you really going there? I tease, but I'm struggling to stay in the moment, my mind clawing its way back to the courtroom decision awaiting me. Somehow, though, I keep this going, adding, I'm officially swimming in fish eyes and your ego. He chuckles, and knowing him, he's more amused with himself than me.
I'm sure you are. Back to dinner. You pick the restaurant tonight. Name the spot.
You can't be seen in public with me. Conflict of interest, remember? Let's make it after I recover from the verdict. This weekend. I'll sit this birthday out.
You skip your birthday and Christmas far too often.
Because my parents skip holidays, and that's all I know. I think. Feeling the bite of that this year more than others, for no good reason.
Now you'll skip it over a verdict you'll need to celebrate anyway. We both know you're going to win.
Hope blossoms in my belly, but I don't dare let it get the best of me, and rejection mode hits back. I don't know that, and neither do you.
Yes, we do. And I'd say more, but I work for the DA. Until this case is completely signed and sealed, I can't speak all the bullshit I want to speak.
They don't let you anywhere near their case because of your friendship with me.
No, but even the press is reporting the DA buckled to election year and public pressure. There's no DNA evidence, no witnesses. It's a circumstantial case based on him knowing all of the victims. And, of course, they believed, because of his limited financial resources, he'd end up with a public defender, which is a crapshoot.
I'm a young lawyer, and I'm sure they didn't think I was much better.
You clerked for your father, who's one of the top lawyers in the country. He's well known for winning.
For being a shark, I amend.
Be that as it may, the DA's office dreads seeing his name on a case file. Despite your tense relationship, it's well known that you learned from him. You launched your career as his second chair. You became a fixture by his side, and that offers you credibility others at your young stage of career would not hold.
And yet, I never once felt any pride emanating from that man, my father. It was more like he pressed me to deserve to be called his daughter, a reward I felt unachievable. This, despite my desperate efforts to find one shred of affection in him. But that didn't exist, not even when I worked until I could barely stand. He pushed me, I confirm. He beat me up with his demands, but it did create who I am today.
To that point, the minute the DA's office heard you took the case, they were in my office trying to convince me to tell them your weaknesses.
I perk up at this admission. You never told me that.
I'm telling you now.
And what, Oliver, did you call my weakness?
Macaroni and cheese. For real, they weren't happy.
Did you really?
Scout's honor, and you know that matters. I really was a scout.